For the President of the United States to side with President Putin against American law enforcement, American defense officials, American intelligence agencies, is thoughtless, it's dangerous, it's weak. The President is putting himself over our country. He took the word of the KGB over the men and women of the CIA. Rather than placing blame for what happened in 2016 on Russia where it belongs, the President had the gall to blame both countries for the troubled relationship. The President put what's best for him over what's best for the security and well-being of the United States. Now is the time for our Republican colleagues to join us, bipartisan, and stand up. Our Republican colleagues should demand, as we are, that the President's national security team that accompanied him to the Putin meeting immediately come and testify before Congress. What kind of briefings did they give him beforehand? What did he say to them afterwards? The President needs to sit for an interview with the special counsel.
I have grave concerns about how President Trump has handled this issue. Not only is he cozying up to our adversaries, but he's constantly attacking our friends. And he has not put forward the leadership that is necessary to guard our next election from the kind of misconduct and criminal activity that we have indictments on various Russians for committing in the last election. Well, of course I'm concerned because he's not holding Putin accountable for these indictments that have come down from the investigation by Bob Mueller. He's not holding President Putin accountable. He's not holding his activity with regard to the Ukraine, and he's not providing the leadership that we expect from America.
I too want us to have good relations with Russia. I think everybody would like to see that happen. But I was disappointed, especially by the comments made after the formal presentation. I felt like that everyone who's dealt with Putin understands fully that the best way to deal with him is through strength. And I just felt like the President's comments made us look as a nation more like a pushover, and I was disappointed in that. When he had the opportunity to defend our intelligence agencies who work for him, I was very disappointed and saddened with the equivalency that he gave between them and what Putin was saying. So I was very disappointed in that. And, Congress has spoken strongly. There's very few bills around here that passed 98-2, but we led on pushing back against Russia for many of the things they've done, which have been counter to U.S. interests. And I just felt like the President should have been more forceful in talking about those grievances. Again, Putin only understands strength, and I did not think this was a good moment for our country.
My mouth is still agape. I can't believe Trump's performance. The bar was so low for what the president had to do. He had to just offer some mild pushback against the attacks on our election, Russia's invasion of Ukraine. He didn't do any of it, and it's a head-scratcher for the country. I think there are a lot of people, even those that gave Trump the benefit of the doubt, who are now wondering why. Why did the president just capitulate to Vladimir Putin? Why didn't he offer the most mild pushback? Why did he side with Russia against the United States? It's a big, hairy, terrible, outstanding question that both Mueller and the Congress are going to have to get to the bottom of. Treason is a very, very strong word. I think all of us are more hopeful that the Mueller investigation will give us some direction. But the facts are spilling out faster than we can consume them at this point.
The president seems to be acting in the interest of Vladimir Putin. And this just confounds me. It confounds no less than our colleague John McCain. And I think the president is going to have to backtrack on this, because I think there is already such an outcry. You can't stand up in front of the Russian leader that has assaulted with cyber attacks your country and stand there and say that the intelligence community's report that was unanimous is not correct, and that the Russian president was correct. This is just, it's bewildering, it's mind-blowing.